so we are about to do a silicone bead around the inside of this cupboard, because this is effectively a bit of a wet zone with coffee machines and water, so this will seal it just in case you get any water ingress underneath there, and obviously these are MDF and McCall, so that the water does not go. If you're using a tool and a spray, you can be as sloppy as you like applying silicone. If you look at that mess there, doesn't really massively matter how badly you put it on. Don't go crazy, obviously, but
don't go crazy.
Quick spray, pick your profile.
And that's how you get a perfect line.
And here is the finished result, all the way around the angles. Not too bad a finish. Sometimes if I'm doing lots of internal and external corners, I might leave it to set before moving on to the next angle, but I wanted to get all done, so. But it didn't come out too bad in all the joints. So this left unit is close to being done, not quite. I've just finished fitting the end panel, which obviously covers the side of the carcass and then goes all the way down to the floor. So for here, I need to cut a shelf to go in here, so I used that for something else or I've lost it. But then it's just to fit the plinth here, and then this unit will be done. So we are drilling in the tip-on for this side cupboard. Already done the one on that side. So Blum as always, of which I've got a jig for this one. So this is going in a skinny piece of MDF, 16mm, not 18mm, as you'll know from a different video. So there's only a female tolerance, so we've got basically this is a jig that guides the drill bit as square as possible, but still it's quite far to drill a very skinny hole in. If you look on that side, it's got quite a clever ejection hole of dust. So the jig gets us so far because it's quite a deep hole. These are actually an extra long version because we've got quite a heavy door. So I need to basically freehand the last bit. So as long as you go slow, you can basically use the hole already drilled as a guide. There we go. And then this has actually also got lots of adjustment in it. So when it's out, you can basically twist it, which basically sets how far in it goes. So you can see that, it sticks out a bit more. So for your final door alignment, you can use that to adjust it a fraction of a mil. So we're in the upper cabinet doing the lift up flap hinges, the Blum Special. So there's actually 5 different holes that need to be done for this. Bit of a faff, but Blum do give very detailed guides. You do take a bit of reading though. So, for example, that's the peg positions. So that's the diagram for 2 of the holes, and then a further diagram for the other set of holes, which I'll show you what they're for. Basically, we have to notch in. There's little metal pegs here which you have to notch in, which really takes a lot of the weight. And then through 3 screw holes. Now, I just realised this, haven't done the left-hand cabinet, but they are, of course, because Blum's all a bit of a system, the peg holes actually are all divisibles of the Blum hinge jig, as you can see there. So I've now set this to the right spacing. Mark which one I actually want, which is going to be there. So those 2. So this is all the holes drilled now. So 2 peg holes, and then these are the 3 screw holes. If you zoom in on here, there's a warning which says this thing may smash you in the eye / head, be careful. It's also in the manual as well. Now if I show you actually what happens, someone's obviously had a very bad injury before. This is a safety retaining clip. Okay, right, you ready for this? Imagine that hitting you in the eye. Not ideal. Obviously it's fine when you actually got a door on it, but until you actually do it, quite a vicious little thing. So just a note, when you're attaching units to walls, always think about how you can hide as many fixings as possible. You can't hide them all, but you can still often hide a lot of them. So this unit is screwed into the wall, securely into the wall studs. So I've got 3 main fixings. Each of them are hidden. So there's one hidden behind this door hinge plate, another one here, and then I also put one on here behind that bracket. So obviously they were all thought about in advance of the door hinges going on. So that's a good way to hide them. And then obviously you have to screw in from the side of the cabinet into the end panel, which again I've tried to hide as many as possible. I've initially hidden them behind where the current shelves go. Obviously we might move these shelves, but they're hidden for now. So the right hand side cabinet is pretty much done now. So I've just fitted the side end panel. So that's all covering the sides, 2 pieces, all the screw holes, and then comes out flush with the door, same as the inside, same as the top. So that's now all complete. So one reason I haven't done too much on the kitchen cabinets this week is that I've been concentrating on getting the radiator in. So we'll probably cover in another video actually how we converted what was a very traditional old damp leaky conservatory into this room, but obviously part of it was getting some proper heat in this. This is a pretty big radiator. So other thing that we did to tidy it up, these are behind here are brick walls, typical dwarf brick walls, which we've clad with some moisture resistant bead and butt cladding, it's called. That's been painted, and then the radiator has also been painted to match that colour. So this is all the same colour as in the kitchen, that slipper satin. And then also before I put the radiator in, because it's quite low level, I also had to put the quadrant beads in, which are also painted. So that all had to be painted before fitting, and then now the radiator is on. Same matte black valves as we've done in other rooms in the house, but it's actually quite hot in here now, which is good, because all of the new glass, which we'll talk about another time, is working nicely.